What up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 41 and today's video is powered by my sponsor Elgato Gaming and the HD 60S Plus capture card, the key lights, the green screen and of course the new multi-mount. So as you can tell, I love to use a lot of these products. If you are an aspiring content creator looking to up your content production game, check no further than down below in the description to a link to my Elgato profile page. So getting on into today's episode then, the first thing we need to do is smash that thumbs up button. Let's go for 4,000 likes. If you guys can do that, you'll make my day. Sub to the channel if you're new, click the notification bell, all of that good stuff. Yeah, we'll get on into it then, shall we? So, we did obviously get a Scream Hulk, bit of a beast. Obviously that was well priced by EA, about 150,000 coins with 95k's worth of packs as well, for what looks to be a very good card. I think that's great price. I'm personally going to pass on it because it doesn't fit my current team. I want to be smarter this year when it comes to which like player SBCs that I do. Just off of the feedback from last year, I obviously spent a lot of coins on like random players that I don't know if I'll ever really use. So whilst there's enough content for me to be doing, I'm going to pass on the likes of Hulk, and we'll maybe just do other ones that fit our team a little bit better and all of that good stuff. But I did do the SBC for the kit because it just required a couple gold items and stuff. I think the kit looks really nice. It matches our badge quite nicely as well, and we'll also switch the Crystal Palace away kit to that Inter kit that I was using as my main one for a while. So we've got red like versus like light blue, and that kind of works out and contrasts each other nicely. So it is actually time for us to mainly use this squad here today. I wanted to see if I could get fairly good with it. I wanted to obviously test out the 4-1-2-1-2 because it's a big formation change for us. We've gone from a very wide 4-4-2, you know. We've literally had wingers. Now we've got central players. We've got 3 centre mids. We've got the CDM, the 2 proper centre mids, and then we've also got the cam. But what it does do is get Royce involved, as well as still having a 2 striker formation in Lewandowski and Neymar, which I think is great. Now, the first game we go into, I go 1-0 down really early from a player of the month, Aubameyang goal. So this guy's obviously spent some coins on SBCs. However, a few moments later, we are actually able to easily equalise. Lovely clinical strike from Lewandowski. And one thing I noticed from today's episode is that I started to really get use out of him now. I'm starting to love Lewandowski. And it just makes that red pack pool that we got last week even sweeter when it's a player that I can actually enjoy. Because, yeah, great, it's a 90 rated card. But if it's just for SBC fodder, then it doesn't mean that much. But someone that's in our squad scoring goals and just a great, like, hold up but good on the ball striker who's got incredible finishing, like that's exactly what I need alongside the trickster that is Neymar. And you can also see here that Royce is getting involved. That was like obviously in the 4-4-2, that was an issue. He's an expensive player. He needs to be in the action. And out wide in the 4-4-2, they didn't get that involved for me. So having a central cam as well as the 2 striker formation, it's just working a treat. Now, this is a very gameplay heavy episode. We play a lot of division rivals, and it's actually in the very first game that we complete an icon swaps objective, which is actually to score 20 goals in rivals with first owner players. So I finally got that one done, just without even thinking about it. It's just happened over time. So we literally have 1 left to get, and that is by me playing and winning 5 squad battles matches with an MLS side on world class or better. So I'll do that eventually off camera. It's not something I'm looking forward to. Not after playing the CSL one the other night. I didn't really enjoy myself doing it. It's definitely a bit of a grind against the world class computer. I'm not obviously not the best player, but when you have to downgrade your team to play that world class, I definitely struggle. So yeah, it's something that I'll do at some point, but obviously 5 wins against world class, takes a couple hours at least, really, doesn't it? So it's just something that I need to find a couple of spare hours for. However, in today's episode, rather than like changing up the team once again to maybe do the objectives for Scream Jekko, I just wanted to go in and see if I could actually use this 4-1-2-1-2, because I need to do that now, knowing that we've got the weekend league coming up. If I find that I'm really struggling with it today, then obviously we need to make changes before the weekend league. I can't let it get too late, too far down the line, and then we have to go into a whole weekend league where I need to obviously grind my way through it, and I'm struggling. That's not what I want to happen. So I want to obviously get used to my squad. Now, this guy right here, I think was a far better player than me. He was obviously doing the objectives with French League 1, but he battered me. Now, I did get an equalising goal, and you'll notice that the shush celebrations only come in when he got a couple of goals ahead. I think I had him on the ropes for a little bit of time there, so that felt all right. It didn't feel too bad to end up getting a 4-1 loss, but yeah, I had him for a split second. He thought he was going to draw or lose that match, so finally when he got his couple of goal lead, that's when he decided to hit me with the shush, which is totally fair enough. Now, we move on into the next game, and I am noticing a very nice squad there. It's a mix between Barca, Man City, and then, of course, just like some Germans from Bundesliga in there. So I knew that I was going to be up for a difficult challenge, knowing that he had Aguero and Werner and Royce. Like that, they're three pretty good players that I am definitely going to struggle against. However, I go 1-0 up. Royce gets the goal. He pushes through with Kyle Walker, and it is actually Walker that scores the goal to equalise for this guy. Now, I didn't know he was so good at finishing, but maybe that was just me moving the goalkeeper about and stuff. And eventually, right towards the end of the game, I made what I thought was a perfect tackle, but a fresh Douglas Costa that had just come on was able to score the goal. And then he made the difference, actually. As you can see, he kind of made the last goal as well. So right towards the end, I go from being 1-0 up to end up losing 3-1. In a game where I had a lot more chances than my opponent. So hopefully that is the karma coming back from when I got lucky in the weekend league. I don't want that karma to really hit back and bite back at me in the weekend league. I want it to just happen in rivals where it doesn't really matter too much, right? One thing I would say about the 4-1-2-1-2. The way I've got it set up is I've literally got my fullbacks to join the attack, because I obviously still want some wide play. I want that option out there, and that is exactly what Alex Telles and Semedo are going to have to offer me. They've both got pretty high stamina, well into the 90s, and they are both very tired towards the middle of the end of the match. So the substitutes that I bring on might literally be like Roussillon or someone like that. It might be to bring off Alex Telles and bring on someone that can shoot up and down that line, because my midfielders and my cam and strikers, they seem to be holding their stamina quite well. And what I really like about them is just that little intricate 1-2 play. Having that central cam is vital, because you can have the ball with Neymar, you can knock it back to the cam, and you can send Neymar on that run. But if you then play it into Lewandowski, he then gives time for Neymar to arc that run, and then it just works out better. Like, there's just more option, and that's what I definitely had been missing in the 4-4-2. I really enjoyed that formation. I love the wide play, having that ability to knock the ball out wide just to get some space, because sometimes this game can be a little bit like if you're playing two narrow formations, it really does just sort of buck, and it's kind of difficult to get any space whatsoever, especially if your opponent goes on to high press. But yeah, like having that extra player just behind the strikers seems to be working a treat. And then obviously we've still got enough in midfield to help out with the defense. Pep is sitting in between those defenders nicely, and Goretzka and Frankie de Jong, both of which they're like kind of the perfect options for two centre mids in a 4-1-2-1-2. Frankie's been outstanding. He's been brilliant. I really liked him this time around. I used him before, didn't think a whole bunch about him, but now, like this particular version, I'm actually really liking it this time around. And again, Goretzka is obviously just one of those OP cards. I can't believe, actually, that he had gone down in price. Like, we sold Goretzka probably last week for about 30,000 coins. and we bought him for 11. So there's a few players like that have really dropped in the market. I think like Eder Militao, we probably paid 20 something for him again this time. He's now 10k or 9,000 coins. Obviously, you've got Goretzka. There are players like, I think like Longley has dropped like 20,000 coins. I think the regular Frankie de Jong, which was 100,000 coins for the longest time, is now like 40,000 or something. So yeah, it's noticeable that those types of players in the market have come down, but then sometimes you can notice that like the Neymars and stuff are obviously a lot higher priced now than they were when I bought Neymar. He's a couple 100,000 coins more than when I bought him, and that is obviously because people have got to the point where we're a couple of weekend leagues in, a couple of weeks worth of rewards have come in as well. They've now moved away from the Eder Militao type of player, and they have enough money to buy that one marquee player. So those players are rising in price or staying at a high price, but the lower rated ones are really dropping like a rock. So unfortunately for me, I have Eder Militao. I also have like Ousmane Dembele, who's dropped quite a lot, but they're players that I don't really want to sell. Like Ousmane, I'm probably just going to hold on to him pretty much all year because he's a first owner La Liga winger, and I find that's going to be kind of useful. But then again, do I take the coins for him now whilst we're not actually using him? He's a super sub, yeah, but like we've also got Rashford, who's untradeable, that we could just use as our super sub. So maybe it would be a smart move to sell someone like Ousmane whilst his price is starting to come down. Maybe just sell him before it really hits rock bottom. Let me know what you think about that, actually. Just, you know, in terms of actual prices of players that are starting to come down, do you think that that's just an early week thing, and then by the weekend league that they're going to rise again? Or is it that time in the game where those sorts of players do just hit their bottom price, and they're always going to be fairly cheap going forwards because everyone's got the coins for the bigger and better players? Be very curious to know your thoughts, because I don't know much about the market or trading or anything. Like, yeah, we've made some coins here and there now and again, but I definitely don't know like the trends and stuff. I just basically hope that I've got certain players when SBCs come out, and if that happens and I can make a quick buck on some players that I've already got in the club, then yeah, it's brilliant, and I look like I know what I'm doing, but I actually have no clue what the hell is going on. So we once again are juggling between 1300 to 1450 skill rating. What we have done today though is double our rank points. So we were only on 6,000, we're up to nearly 12,000 now, which is good. And I decide to go out and buy this guy. So for 12,000 coins, I get 84 rated Acuna. Now, he's not actually going into my main squad, obviously. We've already got a nice team. But look at the stats of this player. I think he's going to be a worldie of a centre mid, like super sub. So should I need, or maybe we could even bring the fullbacks off for him. But like if I need to take Frankie or Goretzka off, like with the stats that Acuna's got there, I think he could be an absolute worldie of a super sub. I think he could do a great job in midfield. Leaving us to then bring on someone like Roussillon or a better fullback that maybe we've already got in our club, I'm not sure, and then have enough stamina to withstand the game, because I'm playing a very fast press, or fast build up, high press, like fullbacks join the attack. I should have everything there when I go forward, but that then means that they've also got to get back. So it is really tiring the players out, and it is becoming like something that I notice against better players. I think I will struggle. I'm conceding quite a lot of goals, as you will see in today's episode. This game right here, I had loads of opportunities against this guy, but I just wasn't clinical, and he was super clinical. I think I end up losing this game right here, 4-1. He had the same strike partnership as me, Red Lewa, and also Neymar, but for some reason, the rest of his team I don't think was quite as good as mine. I just got battered. Yeah, I got fully battered, and he even scores one of those like crazy volleys that I scored with Royce earlier. So he was a good player. Eventually, I think we end up getting shushed at one point in time. There we go. There's the shush. Okay, but we're 4-0 down, and I had loads of opportunities. So this is just one of those games, again, where I feel like I got a little bit unfortunate. We do push wide and get ourselves a consolation goal right here. Neymar into Royce, and of course he finishes there. So we get one goal back, so he isn't able to keep a clean sheet. But yeah, when you look at the stats that we had right here, look, I had 15 shots, 8 on target, 51% possession. It just looks like I had a better game than my opponent. Somehow I came away with the loss. Is that down to the 4-1-2-1-2? Do I have too much like going forwards, then not enough when I'm in a defensive situation? I need to figure this out. So that's obviously why I wanted to play a whole bunch of games in this episode. As you can see, Semedo pushing so far up there. He's basically a right winger at this point. Should I be leaving him on balanced and he'll still get up the pitch, but he'll also get back a bit more? Because I literally have them on join the attack, and I'm not sure whether that's the right play. Like in defensive situations, I should have my 2 centre-backs staying back, obviously, and then I should have Pep Guardiola dropping between the defenders. So we should have a bank of 3 players there, and if Semedo's pushing up, then hopefully Tellez will stay back. So we should kind of be covered, but I'm just finding myself leaking goals. I'm scoring more. I'm actually working really nicely in the attack, so maybe that's just what I try and do. Maybe I just go for the outscore your opponent and have one of those stressful weekends, but I end up coming away with more victories. I don't know. Yeah, be curious again to know your thoughts on that. So we get a penalty when we're 2-1 up here, and I do what I do best, which is bluff left and then go down the middle. If you guys ever play me in the weekend league, that's probably what I'm going to do. So congratulations for saving the penalty against me if you ever give one away against me. But then right at the end, this guy, like the whole game, was I was struggling against the speed of Salah and Rashford, and he eventually got that second goal. It wasn't enough for obviously to him to get the equaliser or the win, but we come away with a victory there. So yeah, we've more than doubled our rank points today. We also did this gold upgrade SBC simply because there is a new pack animation, or the front of the pack now looks different, simply because it's Halloween, it's Ultimate Scream, right? So I thought, I'm going to put a few of these players into gold upgrades, or just literally into one gold upgrade, so I could see what this looks like. So there's like tombstones and pumpkins and stuff, as you can see right here. Look how cool that looks. So that tells me that throughout every single promo for the rest of this year, I hope we're going to be able to get cool themes at the front of that, because it just adds something to me. I know it's like just a menu thing, just a visual graphics type thing, but little things like that I think are decent for the game, and obviously like it makes people want to open their reward packs and stuff a little bit more. So I hope we see a little bit more of that anyway. So quickly going through the player bios then as we wrap up for today's episode, you can see that, I mean, Neymar is obviously still absolutely nailing it with his contributions. Royce is getting up there now. He's getting super involved. And then, of course, Lewandowski is also doing quite well. I mean, there's a couple squad battles in there, of course, so that we could definitely do better to monitor our player bio. Maybe I should be like noting down when I score in online games so we can get a really accurate representation. But knowing that a lot of the squad battles that I have been playing over the last week have been the objective ones where I'm literally using like Chinese league players and stuff, I don't think I'm like skewing it too much. So actually they're doing quite well. So that's going to be the end of the episode today, boys. Do me a massive favor, hit me with a thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are down below. Most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow with another episode. Peace.